This is Pat Dynamite, and you're watching BJDG Talks Wrestling. When Dynamite blows up, they don't get up.
Welcome back, everybody. Excuse me, I just ate a slice of pizza about 30 seconds ago. BJ here.
DG here, as I hear us on my other TV. How's
I think
everybody?
that might be me. Hold on.
No, that was me. I totally forgot to mute my other TV. But yeah, man, we are here at 1 o'clock today. A special early show to talk about mainstream wrestling before later today at 5 o'clock, what would be our normal time slot. We will be doing our review show for PWU Silver and Gold.
Much better.
Where later, Chef the Ref will also be joining us. So, quick shout out to Wicked Podcast, I believe. They do shirts and stuff for the PWU shirt there. I actually do have one myself. I have the silver one.
Oh, very nice.
I have a puppy whining in my ear still. I can't say what I want to say now because I can get us canceled. But yes, what the original plan was for us not to do this show this week, and then a bunch of stuff had to happen, right? So, ring the bell and let's get to it. And let's kick off with Monday night this week with a couple things, which, by the way, before I get into what I wanted to talk about first, Gunther starting the show and what he said about Cena. Absolutely love it. Short, sweet, right to the point. I think it's the shortest opening promo we've had on Raw in a long time.
No, they're finally getting it.
What guest? We have a guest? Oh, unless you're counting my puppers here. The guy on the left.
Who's left? I have no idea what that's in reference to.
Yeah, that's BJ Talks Wrestling. But yeah, that's Gunther's opening promo. Absolutely great this week. I thought it was short, sweet, right to the point. I was kind of hoping somebody would interrupt him. You know, to kind of set up that next story, but that's okay. Let him have his moment. It's kind of like almost, because I was kind of thinking of it like a championship celebration. You know,
I was running through it in my mind. All right, who's going to interrupt them? And then it just never happened.
Yeah, so yes.
That wasn't me that said that. That was Chef.
We had during our review show.
That was during our review show, and we had already discussed that.
Yeah,
that
just
was
to
Chef.
clear.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, we do two different shows. We do a mainstream show, and then we also do an indie wrestling show. So we were kind of in our indie wrestling mode at the time. And hey, dog, do you just not want me to be on camera? So that was kind of it. Cena Gunther match, we talked about that last Sunday. That was actually both of our match of the week. I loved the story told in it from beginning to end, and even just the match itself. I thought had the smiling and tapping out thing was absolutely great. Because it was like, and he said it in an interview, I believe, earlier this week, that it was like, imagine you're at the end of your life and you see your life flashing before your eyes. Well, in that moment for him, he saw his career flash before his eyes. And he was content with what he saw. He acknowledged he wasn't the same Cena from 15 years ago no more. Super Cena's gone. And even if that was Super Cena we saw, it wasn't enough to put down Gunther in the end. And he was content with his legacy and what he did, so he tapped out and he was happy to call it a career.
And I just want to mention, I didn't say that for the last couple of weeks. That scene where you see Cena like struggling to get up, and then Gunther from behind, like a monster from a horror movie, just grips him up. I mean, that was cinema right there.
Yeah, no, the match was very well put together. Um, but yeah, I thought I said something after he said that we had talked about that. If you wanted to go back and see that, a lot of our show last week was about John Cena, to be perfectly honest.
I mean, the first like 45 minutes, I believe.
Yeah, and then it just continued throughout the show. We kept being able to refer back to it. So Joe Hale in the chat, how you doing? And I see that was what our first thing was going to be to talk about before I brought up Gunther, was our thoughts on the Austin Theory reveal being the Masked Man. That's pretty much who we speculated to be.
I mean, the world saw it coming. You know, it was no surprise. My only question is, besides like, you know, where is it going? Is he the only one?
At the moment, I think yes. If you expand anymore, we already have 2 5-person stables on SmackDown.
Well, we don't necessarily know that he's joining that stable.
I think so. Or it could, maybe for him, is a kind of an audition that he's been doing this on his own to get favor, because maybe Logan Paul could be walking away for a while. He's been around pretty regularly recently, and after his brother getting his jaw broken in 2 different places by a real boxer,
Right.
who's in his prime, I could see him taking a couple weeks off. You know, but whatever it is, I think that this is very interesting because this does connect back to Seth in some fashion. It does add a lot to the vision, especially Austin Theory being a young talent that you could build, him and Braun Breaker, you could build division completely around now, because they're going to be the ones that are there for the next 10 years if things go right, just like they did for the longest time with Cena and Batista. They were kept on 2 different shows on purpose,
Right.
until it was the right time to cross them over, which I thought they always waited a little bit too long. But that's just a matter of opinion, because we got the SummerSlam match out of them. And I think they redid it at WrestleMania.
I believe so.
Maybe it was Royal Rumble for Cena to get the belt to go to WrestleMania with it. We're talking a pretty while ago now.
Right.
I'm a huge Austin Theory fan. I was also a huge fan of him and Grayson Waller as a tag team. I thought they worked together really well. And I would love to see a culmination of what we never got of the heel turn.
Well, now
or the face turn, in a sense, from like Austin Theory turning face.
Now you're putting the pieces together, and you're saying like, oh, I always thought that Grayson Waller tag team was weird, but that whole thing was to get Theory over. And I mean, more so Waller, but like to get Waller over and have Theory disappear for a while.
Well, Theory was legitly injured. That's why it just abruptly stopped.
Oh, yeah.
But now when we look at it, we're like, Theory's still Theory, just with the New Day. Nothing has changed. And he doesn't really fit with the New Day. I love what they're doing together. He just doesn't seem to fit in with them to me.
I don't know. Big G is, I'm getting used to it now.
I mean, it's fine. It's still entertaining, but it doesn't seem like a one. I'm like, it's like a 75-80% fit. It's not the perfect fit. You know, to where him and Theory, I thought they played off each other very well because they had the same type of attitudes. Right. You know, like their gimmicks were very similar, kind of like when they did Breezango and they put Tyler Breeze and Fandango together. Right. Oh my God!
Well, they really hit their stride with the Fashion Police.
Yes, 100%. I
Before
think
that,
I was
Go.
at a house show, I think, where I saw them one time, and they literally changed outfits during the show. Like at ring, it's just like, and it's on the opposite side of the ring for me, so it's even better that I'm not sitting on the same side where it happened.
Right. Yeah, the immersion wasn't so much broken for you.
Yeah, but what does Austin Theory join Division? Because like I said, it does seem like he's auditioning for a spot.
Uh, I can kind of see a world where the Vision is like, no, we can't have you as a part of our team. We're okay with your abilities, but then Pierce would have a reason to like take action.
Well, my other thing is, so remember when the Vision first formed, and we talked about if they were to add somebody, right? That we've been looking for something that would be like that Evolution style group.
Right.
You know, is this it?
I don't
I
think
mean,
this is going to be like an Evolution style carbon.
no. But
copy.
in the way that Evolution was used to elevate Batista and Randy Orton to the next level. Because Triple H and Flair had already been there, done it. Triple H was at the top of his game as a heel at that point with
Right.
Evolution. And now we're looking at Bronson Reed as a monster. That's somebody else this group is going to establish. But when you look at it, the group's not about Logan Paul or Bronson Reed.
Right.
Bronson Reed, he gets a good portion of it right now. But it's all about Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is his promo work the last couple weeks has been really good. The promo he cut on CM Punk, bringing up AJ Lee and everything, was absolutely great. Like, I feel like the group, because in the end, when we get down to if Seth Rollins never got injured, if the plan was him, Roman at WrestleMania, Roman wins, and then they turn on Seth the next night, we just got everything sped up, so you kind of got to put something else in there now. And Paul Heyman's the veteranship. Theory could definitely use the extra boost now returning. Like, that would put even more heat on him.
Right.
I think that is the way to go. Because you also then, he has the backup to possibly deal with New Day and Grayson Waller and get revenge a little bit that Waller just dumped him. Because not that we all weren't expecting it. We weren't expecting it like that. Like, I would have expected more like Austin Theory makes some type of return as a mystery tag team partner or something. And then Theory turns on him during the match. Or, I'm sorry, Waller turns on Theory in the match.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, it didn't surprise anyone. You know what I mean? There aren't too many ways they can go from here. It seems like so unless something truly shocking happens soon, I don't know. This one, I'm not really too invested in.
And I'll also say this: if I'm going to look at anybody right now, that would greatly benefit from being a Paul Heyman guy, Austin Theory could be that guy.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, I will say this. We might not agree with the Vince booking of Theory and how quick he pushed Theory, but let's be honest. You go back and watch some of the original Evolve stuff with Austin Theory. Go back and watch some of his earlier stuff before WWE. You could see even then, Theory has it. He has it. Just like I've always said about Jade Cargill. She needs to work on her in-ring. But all the intangibles are there. She has that it factor. She walks out that entranceway. You're looking at her. She emotes the attitude she should. She has the look. And her now being a heel will help hide a lot of those in-ring imperfections. So I think that, of all things, having Theory in that group is a good way to go. He'll benefit a lot in character development from working with Heyman.
Oh yeah.
Like, if I were to have faith in anybody now to be able to put that all together, it's Paul Heyman. And maybe to a point that Theory's one of the guys that ends up facing Seth. Like, because the storyline connects in a good way of having that Theory was a former Seth Rollins guy.
Right.
When he did his first group by himself. But it was him, Theory, and there was originally
Murphy.
Yes.
Yeah, Buddy Murphy. Buddy Matthews.
That guy that's in the other company.
Buddy Ripley.
I'll allow it. Dude, we need that sound clip, Mills Lane. From Celebrity Deathmatch. I'll allow it. Yeah. Let's see. Other interesting things from the Usos' first match back as an official tag team, defeating the New Day. I'm going to be honest, it's been so long since I've seen that feud. I would love to see it again.
Oh yeah.
If it's one thing that's memorable over the last decade, and that's pre-Bloodline, the New Day and the Usos. Like, that was one of those feuds.
The Uso Penitentiary era.
Yes. And that's one of those things where I would say about having Sheamus and Rusev, you could put them out there every week and I will watch. Because it'll just be a very slight change in the match, but those guys just beat the hell out of each other and it's impressive to watch. Let's see. Maxine Dupree retained her Intercontinental Championship against Ivy Nile.
It was an entertaining match, but, you know.
We have the Pete Dunne version of a lucha facing Javon Evans next week on Raw.
What do you mean by that?
I'm going to be perfectly honest. Up until that's Pete Dunne under that mask.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I credit you with your dedication to it, sir. I really do.
It's John Cena under that mask. Okay.
No, it's not. It's Juan Cena, and he's still in AAA.
No, that's El Grande Americano.
No, the real El Grande Americano revealed himself at a baseball game that it's really Chad Gable under there. What did you think of CM Punk's response on Monday night to Braun Breaker's promo?
Yeah, wow. That was hype, man. I felt that. Like, I mean, I didn't see CM Punk as the master. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, yeah, that was good stuff.
Like, I like where they're going with this. It's just at the moment, how does CM Punk win that?
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting match.
Like, that's going to be one of those matches that's just going to be like, wait, what?
There's going to be funny business.
What was that? My bad. I got a message.
There's going to be funny business. That's just a given. I don't really think we're going to see just a straight up clean match.
My bad. Business and my brain. It's all pro wrestling in my world. I don't know what to tell you.
Focus.
Hey, we might be... You know what? Just be appreciative that I'm all about business, all right?
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Awesome!
completely didn't click the wrong one, but whatever. The Miz thinks it's awesome. Moving on. So, you know what I'm kind of upset with, and this is the first time I'm really going to say this, is that Nikki Bella is still in the world title picture, and that she ruined, and that they used her to interfere in what was an amazing women's championship match between Stephanie Bakir and Raquel Rodriguez. Not that I expected Raquel to win, but if they had done the title change, which I can't wait to talk about title changes after Raw, Raquel was close to winning that.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I'm very interested to see how this 3-woman within the Judgment Day works out too. Because does Raquel get another shot? Does Liv take it, or do Liv and Roxanne? Like, are we going to get like a female version of the Freebird rule? I'm okay with that. With the new, like, so the guys in Judgment Day never really had a reason to use it, because at some point they were always a champion, so Dominic never really had to step in always. And when somebody got injured, somehow it was a short injury, or they just didn't happen to be champions at the time.
Right. Well, with the guys in the Judgment Day, there was always the Finn and JD. Like, they were always the definitive tag team, unless JD was hurt. Then they, but it was always Finn and JD. Not always, but you know what I mean. For the last year or two, that's been the duo.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see where that goes. I haven't watched it yet, but apparently Dominic was injured in the main event of his match in AAA last night. I have to go back and watch that still. Maybe I'll throw it on and start it when we're in between shows. Which is, as a reminder, everybody, since I brought it up, we will be doing another show reviewing PWU Silver and Gold at our normal time slot time of 5 o'clock today. So please come back to join us. I will have clips to show. And on that show, I also have exclusive comments from the new SPO Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah. Can't wait to talk about that one.
But yeah, I personally, I think that whether you're a fan of Nikki or not, she's better as a heel than a face.
Oh, absolutely.
Without her sister, it's just weird her being a face.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do we have this week? From this week. Logan Paul beating Rey Mysterio. That was the theory reveal when he came in and interfered in that match. Punk ate a huge spear after that, though. Oh, man.
Yeah. As soon as he came down off the turnbuckle there.
It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, because I can see Punk winning and then Breakker winning the Rumble. Because we still haven't gotten the return of Jacob Fatu.
Right.
Which I still will stand on. If Seth didn't get injured, Jacob Fatu's winning the Rumble.
Do you think we see Jericho in the Rumble?
That would be the logical time for him to return.
No. I think if all the rumors are true, that's where we're going to see.
I wish it had been sooner, and they could somehow fit in him and Cena. I would have loved to see that. Even though they never really had major history, I just think at this point in their careers, they could have put on a decent match.
Yeah, but Cena's run was more about getting other people over. And, nobody, Jericho doesn't need that.
Yeah. The one match I truly would have wanted to see, and I stand on this, was him and Adam Copeland one more time. That was the one that was missing.
Right. And there was no way that was going to happen.
Yeah. But, yeah. Oh, speaking of the Gunther segment, I totally forgot, and I made sure to make note of it. When Gunther was leaving, and he's walking through the back when they came back from commercial, And everybody's just like, are you happy with yourself? Adam Pearce just sends him home for being an a-hole. But the best part was when he gets outside to his car and AJ Styles is just leaning on his car. They have the short exchange.
Yeah.
And then as Gunther's leaving,
he gives him the...
he rolls down his window and does the "you can't see me" and just laughs and pulls off. I was like, oh, that's effing awesome. See, that would have been the good time to play it. So.
Awesome!
There you go.
It came back around, everybody. Thank you. But yeah, we had a continuation of stuff with the Kabuki Warriors and Rhea and Io. Before they could even get to the ring to speak, the Kabuki Warriors attacked them. And they got targets on their backs right now. The entire women's tag team division in WWE is really heating up, and I like that. So, I know I'm backpedaling on something I've been talking about recently, but the idea of a television title. If they can make this women's tag team division work crossing shows, I think they can do it with a singles title. That would only be on TV. That would... I'm just saying, like...
There's enough belts.
No, I know. I as you also know, but I'm just saying, if something like that were to ever come into existence, the blueprint of what they do with the women's tag team titles right now is almost the exact same blueprint. You know, because I'm going to use as an example, say you call somebody up like a Javon Evans. Wow, that would really be something to have, just that to float around and have on him, even if it's just for like a couple months. And then you can start, and then it gives the fans a reason to kind of invest into his story, not necessarily the championship, but the story that you're telling of him working to get there.
Yeah, if it wasn't completely unnecessary to add another belt.
Oh, no. And I do agree right now it is unnecessary, but just the idea of, I just wanted to compare the blueprint of, like, that my idea of what to do with it is what they're doing with the women's tag team championships, where we see this story playing out, guys wanting shots at, or the ladies wanting shots at those championships on both sides, and they're fighting to do it.
I mean, yeah,
that's
yeah,
all.
And I mean,
I'm
look
just
what
saying the blueprint.
Yeah, look what it's done for NXT female tag teams that wouldn't have gotten a second look otherwise. I mean, you've seen a lot of them come up to SmackDown. Was it Solruka and Zarya just had a feud with Charlotte and Alexa? There's a lot of examples of that. So I see what you're saying.
And there's also the idea that that's a good test for a call-up guy. Oh, hey, somebody we're looking at calling up. Who's somebody who not necessarily? I'm trying to think. Let's just use as an example Tony D'Angelo. I'm just going to use him as an example. First name that popped in my head of somebody, but no. Stax. There we go. I'll use Stax as the example. Somebody you might not necessarily think about calling up now, but let's just say you might have plans and you see the trajectory of how he's improving, and you're like, hey, maybe by SummerSlam I can have him on the main roster, right? And you have this champion, you don't want to bury him to your Intercontinental or World Champion, but you have this guy carrying this other belt that goes across the brands, and he's just like, I want a shot at that championship. I think I deserve it. And you don't have to come to NXT. I'll come to you on Monday Night Raw, or I'll come to you on SmackDown, since I'm already going to be there for some type of appearance.
Right.
And I'm going to come and take your championship. They approve the match. He gets to be introduced to the main roster fans in a match that you're using to also advance the other person's story while you're getting to see what he can do under the big lights.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like, because the idea is something that I thought hurt Carmelo Hayes on his call-up, him losing to Cody twice. He looked great. He looked great, but the number one overall pick of that draft.
More so, it was just his booking after that. Like, I don't think that really.
The follow up didn't help really good neither. But I'm just saying, if we go back to the very beginning, him who looked like $1 million against Cody Rhodes. But that hurts him taking those losses.
No, I think more so what hurt him is his booking afterwards.
Oh,
Because he looked good in those losses. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
he
if
looked
anything,
like,
they were like, this is a call up. We don't expect him to be number one right now. But, like, the fact that he hung in there, you know.
But you know, at the same time, you could have done that with the United States champion. You could have done that.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because a loss to the United States champion wouldn't look as bad as you could have beat Cody Rhodes, but in the end, you just lost to the champion. And then also, what didn't help, as you said, is the booking afterwards.
I think also there's less expectation when he's going up against.
I'm just looking at a former North American champion, a former two-time NXT champion. Which, speaking of NXT champions, this week on SmackDown, Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes versus DIY. Something that I talked about earlier in this year is how many of the talents we've seen from the Black and Gold being featured, and now some of 2.0 as well. That how short-lived that was, and how we saw the breakout stars then are the breakout stars now on the main roster. Go figure. That tag team match was all former NXT champions, which is something really cool to see and be able to point out that the future is bright for the WWE when it comes to at least people they have in the ring. When it comes to pricing everybody out, that's a different story altogether.
Yeah. I mean, and that's never been, a weak point of WWE. Like, they always, like, whenever you look at NXT or any of the farm systems, you see that there's a few duds, but most of the guys down there, like, end up being stars,
Yeah, something else I would like to jump to and talk about now. The shocking title change this week on NXT, where Thea Hale defeated Blake Monroe for the Women's North American Championship, and the controversy that the fans have brought onto it since then, I guess, would be the good way to put it, because I'm not saying there wasn't a controversial finish to it, as in terms of how it finished, but it wasn't the same as we saw on SmackDown a couple months ago. It was the right call made.
Yeah.
So did you? As I know you don't get to watch NXT every week. Did you see the
I was
video?
watching.
All right.
I was watching.
So just for those that didn't see it, the match is going. Thea does a rebound senton jumping backwards on the Blake Monroe, which I think knocked the air out of her.
Yeah, apparently she was winded.
Thea went for the pin right away. 1, 2, 3, but you do see Blake Monroe's arms start coming up.
Right after the 3.
You can see her arms starting to come up, and this could have gone two ways. One, under a referee could say, I saw something nobody else saw because I'm right there counting to 3. I saw her shoulder come up. But instead, the ref counted to 3, awarded Thea the win and the championship. I'm going to say something right now. I know I've spoken about Lash Legend a lot, but whenever we talk about Thea Hale, I'm 100% a fan of hers. I love her energy. I think she deserves a championship run of some sort because the fans are 100% behind her. And I understand this was a mistake. Because even after the match, everybody stopped. The referee's like, no, she won. Give me the belt. And he had to go over and make it clear of what happened. Even when they cued the music, it was Blake Monroe's music that hits first before Thea Hale's. So, all things aside, in moments that accidentally pulled the curtain back when something's not supposed to happen, I will say this, it was 100% the right call that referee made. And from everything I've read, the referee has gotten nothing but respect for the call that was made. I've seen fans like on message boards and stuff saying, "Oh, the referee shouldn't count it." All right, so should we repeat the Nia Jax incident from SmackDown where she didn't kick out because she was expecting Jade to get in the ring and break up the pin? No, the shoulders are down. You count the 3.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I also heard that when Thea landed on Blake, she like tried to like whisper to her like, "Get off of me," like, you know, saying that I'm not going to be able to kick out. And Thea in that time, like, it didn't register, I guess, because it was bang bang.
And in the moment, you have the fans cheering and everything. So sometimes things.
And she's winded.
And also, she had all the air knocked out of her.
So it could have been. It was probably a whisper.
At best,
Yeah.
without, you're just trying to force it out. But there's something to be said. Maybe Thea should slowed herself down a bit after doing the senton, so that Blake could catch her breath. But overall, this type of stuff happens on live TV at times.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mistakes happen, and this wasn't a case of a mistake. This was a case of something happened in the ring, and it made everybody have to shift gears. And Thea won the championship, and the genuine reaction was absolutely amazing. Like, all the videos I saw of the emotion and everything, that's really what I want to see. Like, and I get you see it a lot, like somebody wins the title at WrestleMania. It's still real, but like, you don't see it like that. Like, when it's meant to happen, you get that after that adrenaline, like, I did it. But in that situation, even she was like, "Wait, what? I'm a champion?"
Right, yeah, the look of shock on her face, like, you kind of expect that from her, but that time it was very genuine.
I am usually one that would think stuff like that, but I think lately with WWE, after that, listening to the fans isn't necessarily their number one thing right now.
Yeah.
When it comes to certain things. And if anything, my theory is Thea Hale was supposed to look like she was going to win that match and wasn't, because that wasn't supposed to be the fit. That didn't look like the finish. Like, I'm sitting here, I looked away from my TV for a moment to type something, or I was working on a graphic, and I looked back and I'm like, wait, the match, I heard the bell ring. I'm like, wait, what? Because I turned my head after the senton. So I'm like, okay, she's going to go for the pin. It's going to be a 2 count. What? Wait a minute. But it wouldn't put it past me to see something like that. I just don't think that's how it's done. Because then they would have had other things ready. They wouldn't have cued the wrong music. That's not a mistake WWE ever makes. Unless there's something that happens that should not happen. But yeah. I really hope they keep the title on her. I hope they don't hot shy it back at New Year's Evil.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I know they had plans in place, and from what I hear, they had to like refilm a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and people had to come back to the performance center. Yeah, that's a whole lot more of behind the curtain stuff and things like that. But in the end, I kind of hope they keep it on her. And if they do decide to drop it, have her drop it, what I would do is a triple threat, maybe.
Or a tournament, or...
No, triple threat match. Her, Blake Monroe, and Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace wins the title by pinning Blake. Thea is never involved in the finish, so that she still looks strong.
Yeah.
Not some ladder match or something like that. Oh, Tara in the chat.
Hey,
how you doing?
Tara? How's your voice today?
Yeah, hope to see you at 5 when we talk about everything that happened last night. Which, again, I will pop that graphic up for everybody. As we had a special start time for this show, we have another show at 5. We just said F you to the NFL today. All right.
Yeah, well, I didn't catch the game yesterday because I was at
I got
Silver and Gold.
I got a funny story about that off air for you.
Okay. I'm sure Robbie was going nuts, or Declan.
He's actually part of my story, funny enough.
That's what I figured. Yeah. Called
Tara, look, she's so tired that she has to talk about herself in the third person. What?
She always does that.
But yeah, I'm very happy to see Thea with gold. It's been a long time coming. I think she's worked really hard and deserves it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it kind of takes away from the moment I'm sure that they were like trying to build for her to win her first championship, but at the same time, like it was an amazing moment for what it was, and yeah, I think this is whatever they do next. Not whatever they do next, but they have options. Put it this way. So I hope they come up with something. A good way to continue this.
Yeah, so do I. At the moment the accident created, it was absolutely great because it's not often we get to see that genuine emotion of the moment. And the fact that the fans have been 100% behind her.
Right.
This dog, man, I swear.
She just has to be on camera.
Yeah. But when I point my phone at her, she's like, yeah, no.
But that's not enough pixels for me.
This dog's going to make me get a bigger chair. That's what's going to happen. So that she can just sit next to me.
That's right.
But yeah, other things talk about from NXT. This whole Ricky Saints thing going on with Javon Evans after costing him the NXT championship last week.
Right. Oh, you froze. Oh, no, you didn't freeze.
Oh, is that so?
Oh, interesting.
Very interesting. Tara, have a good one. We will see you at 5. I'm very interested in this Javon Evans, Ricky Saints. I think it's a good stepping stone for him. So I think Javon Evans is going to the main roster soon. They've been using him up there more and more. Speaking of other call-ups, I think I said it earlier, Joe Hendry will be appearing on SmackDown this upcoming week. That was a pre-tape facing The Miz.
I really think he's a main roster hotshot. Like
we talked about that before when we were earlier this year when we talked about the eventual change in brands fully. Yeah. And I said if there was anybody 100% ready, it's Joe Hendry. Yes, Sammy always has something to say.
What's
something said in the chat.
No, I know, but I'm saying like, did he send the message? What's the message?
Seriously, are you just going to leave us hanging till we go back live at 5? That would be very interesting. Oh, it is a kind message.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Same to you, Sammy, and T3, whatever that name was.
T3CVA. Excuse me, are you a droid from the Star Wars universe? You have to wait for the dramatic pause.
Yep.
So something else that was a shocker from NXT this week, and I can't believe I forgot to put it on our rundown, which is why I have notes. The number one contenders match, the Fatal 4-Way. That was a great match, and not just that, the shocker of our TNA X Division champion Leon Slater pins Miles Bourne in this match to earn a championship match at New Year's Evil. And we had Obafemi come out afterwards. He stands at the bottom of the entranceway. They kind of stare down. And then we get the ominous, like, Sting-style spotlight in the background of Tony D'Angelo just standing there. Which is another thing. Like, what is bearded Tony D'Angelo up to?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go with this.
All right. No, he is not a droid. Darn. I was really looking for a good protocol droid.
My assistant, T3CVA.
Give me one moment. My dog's doing something stupid.
Yeah.
What else do we got here? Did you see MJF's return for this week?
Yes. Oh my
Let's
God.
talk. Go ahead and start talking about that. I'll be right with you.
Yeah, so after I'm blanking on what match it was after, but yeah, MJF returned to challenge pretty much everyone. Yeah, great to see him back. He got plenty of heat. Yeah, hitting the wall here. Oh, good, DG's back.
I forgot I actually clicked the mute button on here and not just my mic. What was that now?
Well, I just said, yeah, MJF returned after the match. Pretty much had something to say about everybody.
Oh, yeah. So, we have a segment in the ring where they're signing the contract for a triple threat match at World's End. Yeah, Hangman Adam Page is brought out, Swerve is brought out, Samoa Joe comes out.
That's right. It wasn't a match. It was the contract.
Yeah. They all signed the contract. And then out of nowhere's MJF comes out, cashes in his Casino Battle Royal or whatever, Casino Gauntlet match contract. And it says now you have to do a week's notice. It's not like Money in the Bank, which I as I said before, I do credit AEW in making it different. Because I get the excitement of the idea of a cash-in.
Yeah, but this is a great way to do it.
Yeah, it's Babe Ruth calling their shot. You know, we saw RVD do it, and it didn't discredit Money in the Bank any. John Cena did it and won the match by disqualification against CM Punk on the 1000th episode of Raw. So it's been done twice, and both times it was done great. That's all I'm saying about that. And, yeah, MJF had a lot to say to everybody.
Oh, yeah. No, that I was... Oh, my God. He was killing it.
So the question is MJF successful, and does he win his Triple B back?
Oh, my God. I don't know, man. This match is going to have so much going on.
He is the longest reigning ever AEW champion.
Right.
It's single reign. I think at this point, Moxley
reign.
might have surpassed Days. I'd have to look that up.
I don't know. This was, oh man, like how long do we have until the show, until like this match?
World's End, I actually think it's this weekend, as a matter of fact.
Okay, so
no, because he has to give a week's notice, so it should
be. Yeah. So we're only getting one more Dynamite, pretty much.
Yeah, it should be this Saturday.
Are we even getting Dynamite? It's Christmas Eve. I don't
Yeah.
remember if they had advertised it.
Yeah, there's a Chris. Yeah, there
Okay.
is. Yeah, there's still going to be wrestling all week. I'll try to catch it.
Well, I know WWE pre-recorded. I've not yet seen any spoilers. I'm going to try to avoid them.
I accidentally came across a couple. So, from what I see here, Jon Moxley holds the record for most reigns at 4.
Okay.
MJF longest reign at 406 days. Kenny Omega's the second longest at 346.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I'm just trying to see, like, just cumulative days as champion. I will have to take time to put more research into that, because it's probably going to take me a minute to find an actual list. The internet doesn't want to cooperate quickly.
Yeah, let's keep it moving here.
Let's see. Pac defeating Kyle Fletcher in a Continental Classic match for the Gold League. We had the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal. Ricochet and Bandito made it to the finals. They'll face each other this week to see, for the first time in the history of AEW, somebody not named MJF will have the Dynamite Diamond ring. Jamie Hayter and Isla Dawn had a pretty good match this week as well. FTR and the Bang Bang Gang, great tag team championship match. I thought the Elite and the Callis family overall was a good Dynamite this week.
Yeah. That closing segment, that man, just great.
TNA, which I just was telling you before the show this week, I
didn't catch any of, right?
I thought they did great with the cage match this week. With Team TNA came out on top, but the more interesting thing was, after the match, Santino, who was still in the ring, still wanted a piece of Stax, who, if you don't know, his daughter Ariana Grace, they are engaged to be married. That's actually real life. They're blending in the storyline, and Ariana Grace turns on her father, Santino. And we got some storyline going with that. But that main event cage match was really good. They did it war game style. And the match officially didn't start till everybody got in the ring. They continued also the storyline with the Hardys and the Righteous. They even had a promo segment video package or whatever after as the show went off the air. They showed a video package. So it seems like they might be teasing some type of team up maybe at some point, which I think eventually leads somehow to a tag title match first, but something to where we could see a Broken Hardy's full-blown return with the Righteous. I think that would be very interesting. I think that would be really fun if somebody could bring that out of them and add to that Hardy cinematic thing. It's
right.
Definitely the Righteous.
If anyone, yeah, the Righteous would definitely be a great way to do that.
But yeah, TNA putting on great product week after week. January 15th, they debut on AMC, which I'm very happy for. It's something I've been saying for a long time. They need to get onto a different TV network, because they just don't get the exposure they deserve. Same thing that happened to Ring of Honor being with Sinclair Broadcasting. But it was even worse because they just used them to fill a time slot. They never really invested in the product, which they had an amazing product there. It just needed to be invested in a bit more. If they had put a little bit more money into that product and got them on TV other places, AEW might not ever exist.
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Or what we see of AEW is Ring of Honor. But yeah, let's see. What else do we have here? It seems like over on SmackDown side of things, the Damian Priest, Aleister Black feud's not over yet.
No.
Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that feud continuing. Like, let's keep it going, man. These are two just monsters. Like, I could watch them fight every week.
Yeah. For you, that's the same thing as me with Sheamus and Rusev. Like,
Same idea.
Like, they need to be on every show, somehow, some way. Let's see here. Lash Legend and Nia Jax defeat the Kabuki Warriors this week.
Right.
Charlotte and Alexa come out and to go after them after the match. As we talked about earlier, this women's tag team division is really heating up. It might be. I'm hoping they invest the time because it could become one of the more interesting storylines going into WrestleMania, or at least towards that route. We'll see how it happens because Royal Rumble's in Saudi, so we'll see how that goes. What did you think of the video package with the whole Nick Aldis being at Drew McIntyre's house? Because that's something I want to really talk about is this McIntyre and Cody feud and how somehow they're heating it up even more than it already was. Like, they had a nice, 375, chilling, and now they've turned it up to 425.
Yeah, I didn't see all that this past Friday.
So Nick Aldis had to go to Drew McIntyre's house. And
I heard about it, but I didn't get to watch
so he gets there, and they're negotiating him to be able to come back. And Drew had a couple sticking points. He wants a championship match, and he wants it so that Cody can't lay a finger on him the entire time, playing into this whole unsafe working environment thing. And as I will continue to say, Drew McIntyre is his own worst enemy. He does something to somebody, and then when they do it back to him, they're the bad guy.
Right. I'm thinking, didn't I just see, Cody bloodied up in his trailer?
Yeah, so then they're about to agree the term. Aldis agrees to terms. He just has to run it through the legal team and stuff like that. And then Drew McIntyre gets a notification on his phone that there's motion at his front door, and it's Cody. So Aldis had police officers with him for whatever reason. And they end up having to split up this fight between them.
Are we heading for a Cody heel turn, or is this just
Cody's promo? I feel like we are.
Okay.
But I don't know when we get there.
They could just keep teasing it. They love having him face right now. There's really no reason for them to turn him heel. McIntyre right now, I would love to see the roles reversed in this and have McIntyre be the face with Cody as the heel.
Drew McIntyre is such a better heel than face.
I get that, but I kind of feel like Cody would be.
I feel like you could go maybe make Cody not necessarily have heel mentalities, but his words always reflect babyface.
Yeah, kind of like how they did in AEW.
Yeah, or something with Stone Cold, where it's just because what he said to Aldis this week, he's like, I don't work for you, I work for the fans.
Right.
And he even said, just remember, I don't work for you, you work for me, I'm the champion. It is I did get heel vibes from Cody in that promo this week.
Okay, interesting.
100%, but my problem becomes I can see the heel turn coming. It's just a matter of when, because if the initial plans at the moment now are Cody Roman 3 at WrestleMania, what are you going to do to turn Roman heel? Because no matter what, we saw it when he was a heel with the Bloodline. We still acknowledged our tribal chief.
Acknowledge me.
because the story was so good. And it's really been a redemption arc. Like, I just don't see it where, even if the Usos were to turn heel, I don't see them fully getting booed. Like, what would you have to do that would be so hateful to get that reaction? Especially after the past year of this year and a half redemption story that they've told with Roman. For him just to go back fully to that. And then we still have to talk about the idea that if the group that what they were to get back together, their first target's division.
Right. So, I mean, they would have to be the face team in that situation. But I don't see that happening.
It's just a weird moment to be. And that's kind of like my problem. And then you get to WrestleMania with Roman. I get no matter what, the fans might pop for it, right? They'll pop for the moment. But who's really going to be the heel and the face? Are we talking about something where it's kind of like Warrior Hogan at that point? Face versus face?
Right.
But this is the third time we are going to be seeing this match now. Like, what added stakes can there be besides the championship? And if I'm turning Cody heel, maybe I'm doing it in the main event.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like if you're going to hit that Impact, the biggest stage of it all, it should to where maybe you bring Roman in playing the heel, but in the end, Cody's the one who cheats and wins. Cody's the one who maybe brings out help. His own group.
Yeah, it's something I can see happening, but like...
It says, how do you get there and have the story make sense?
Yeah, exactly. Like where we're at now would take a couple steps to get to that point.
I mean, we're still far enough. We're 4 months away from WrestleMania. We have plenty of time to get there. Yeah. What did you think of the tag team championship match this week?
Wait, what show are we on?
SmackDown. MFT and the Wyatts.
I did not catch that either.
Oh, man. That was a good match. It broke down into both teams just starting to brawl with each other.
That's something I got to go back and watch. I've been so busy this weekend. Saturday, when I would normally be catching up on all the wrestling that I missed, I was not only working 8 hours, but then I was also at AEW Silver and Gold after that. So I didn't really get to catch up on a lot.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, man. That whole thing broke down. I really wish they had done a 5-on-5 at Survivor Series. And just said screw it and just let Nikki Cross be. Because there's nobody who we can logically fit into that spot at the moment. Unless it's somebody who just volunteers to team with them. Which at that point, in all honesty, it probably would have been somebody like Dragunov. Just to get him in the spot, because we've been kind of seeing the pursuit, because they've been kind of stalking him in backstage.
That's what I'm saying. Like, well, they've been stalking a lot of people, but
we specifically see the certain people that they are.
Yeah.
The other person I could have seen randomly thrown in there, but it would have made no sense, would have been like somebody like Aleister Black.
I mean, I would have loved like a 4-on-4 with just like Nikki and Solo on the outside.
See, I'd rather have Solo in the match. But that's just me. That's just me personally. Because at that point, shouldn't the leader be in the match? Because Uncle Howdy would be.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you would have to find someone else. And honestly, yeah, there really just isn't anybody.
Yeah, and the show went off the air with both teams brawling. I'm kind of hoping this leads to a rematch, maybe on the first SmackDown of the new year. Some type of special stipulation to try and prevent the other teams from getting involved. Because the Wyatts really didn't do anything until the MFT started getting involved. It was kind of at that point, it was like, all right, if you're going to do it, now we're going to try to stop you from doing it. And I stand by. I know we haven't seen a lot of the Wyatts, but everything they're doing with them and how they're using them, I'm okay with. Because you don't want to overexpose them. And if you're going to have them out there weekly, you have to have a good story.
Yeah, you have to justify having them out there all the time.
Especially with how much good talent there is now across the board.
Yeah, exactly. Not that they would be taking anybody's spot necessarily, but...
But even like Raw and SmackDown, they've made spots, and I get it because of tapings and stuff, but they brought on Javon Evans for Raw. You got Joe Hendry for SmackDown.
Right.
You know, apparently there's a rumor as well that we could be seeing Trick Williams at some point now, like sooner than later. Which I would absolutely love. I think it's time for that as well.
Yeah, it's time.
Is this a matter of what show? And I think that he ends up on SmackDown.
I would put him on Raw.
Well, I say that because him and Lash Legend are kind of a thing, and WWE typically keeps couples together.
I'm just thinking about the potential matchups. I think there's more for him there on Raw.
Not at the moment.
Not more necessarily, but more interesting matchups.
I think after WrestleMania, Raw's the spot for him. I think pre-WrestleMania, SmackDown would benefit more from him. I think there's a little bit more that could be done and that he could add to build up to the point of now you're on Monday Night Raw. Now you're on the biggest stage.
True, yeah, but I would love to see him against guys like AJ Styles or like Rusev.
But I also there's more guys he's worked with already on SmackDown. Carmelo Hayes, Dragunov, DIY.
Right,
guys
so
he
it's
can
more
have
of like an adjustment to the main roster, kind of.
Yeah. So, and you can make sure he looks good in front of the fans with people he's already worked with.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, there was a lot of good stuff this week. Like I said earlier, the tag team match with DIY Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes, who we were just talking about, was an absolute banger of a tag team match that featured 4 former NXT champions. But yeah, so we know at some point we're getting a McIntyre Cody Rhodes match for the championship. We know that Drew McIntyre gets to pick the stipulation for the match. What does he pick? He's gotten to do this already. And again, he was his own worst enemy. Because even if the referee saw the DDT on the belt, Cody never picked the belt up or placed it. Drew picked it up and let himself get DDT'd on it. Where could Drew go from here? Last man standing?
I was thinking that was the first thing that popped into my head. But then I was thinking back, they do blow up a lot of feuds with last man standing. If this is the blow off.
I mean, at this point, we thought the last one was the blow off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. Wouldn't mind seeing what is it called? 3 Stages of Hell.
God, I would. Yeah, but I could go best 2 out of 3 pinfalls. Each one's a different stipulation.
Definitely.
Do we maybe a TLC match? But but under pinfall stipulations,
right?
Under ladder match rules. I love the idea that that's one style of match. You could, because they did it for a while in WWE when they did the pay-per-views. They had ones where they weren't a ladder match.
Right.
And
right.
it was just that you had the tables, ladders, and chairs in the match.
Right.
Like, you could flip the stipulation on that and make it work.
A tables match?
I mean, if Drew's, as long as he issues the public apology to the referee that he completely wiped out, that's another thing that has to happen.
A sword on a pole match?
Maybe what's a match that would completely take the referee out of the equation?
Oh, cage match.
But the way WWE does most people do cage matches now, they still end by pinfall or submission.
Yeah.
So it would have to be Hell in a Cell. The referee's only there to count to 3.
Right.
Cody and Drew in Hell in a Cell would be good.
Yeah.
And you could do it at the Royal Rumble. You could do it at the Royal Rumble.
Right. If they'd be willing to do a Hell in a Cell match, not at a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view.
There is no more Hell in a Cell pay-per-view.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know if we're going to see that match.
When was the last Hell in a Cell match?
Don't tell me it was Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt.
No. I think it was Cody Seth.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess we haven't seen the last of the match because just the pop from them saying...
Nope, I'm sorry. The last one was in 2024 with Punk and Drew.
Okay.
Yeah, that was match of the year, I think, for 2024. I think they got match of the year for that. So, yeah, we might be kind of due for a Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah.
And it seems like the way they're building this up, that could be, I think that Last Man Standing, because you could do something where Drew could cheat the title away from him, even under Last Man Standing. A la Cody, John Cena duct taping Batista's feet to the ring post so he couldn't stand up. Or somebody getting handcuffed to the ropes.
Right.
What about an I Quit match? That takes the referee completely out of the equation. He just has to hold a microphone to him.
Right.
And ask a question. There's no 3 count. There's no count out. And the whole arena would hear it.
Maybe a false count anywhere.
No, my brain's just going, what takes the referee almost, if not completely, out of the equation?
Well, why do you need the referee out of the equation?
Because Drew McIntyre blames the referees. That's been part of his story. So why would he put himself in a situation where the referee could screw him again in his head? You take the referee out of the equation, you make it an I Quit match.
Well, in that case, again, having said that, I think in that case, Last Man Standing is probably the best option.
That's where I'm kind of like my 3 picks would be 1, the I Quit match, because you could do that at the Royal Rumble. That the Riyadh show, they always try to do something big, and we know there's not going to be a lot of matches because of 2 Rumble matches. So if you have 2 Rumble matches plus an I Quit match and a cool-off match, or you do Rumble match, Rumble I Quit match, or Last Man Standing, or Hell in a Cell. Those are the 3 best matches where you're almost completely taking referee out of the equation of being a problem. It's just in Drew McIntyre's head, the referee's always missing something. So if all the referee has to do is hold a mic to Cody Rhodes' mouth for Cody to say, I quit, Cody's the one ending the match, not the referee. There's no way to really screw that, because even if the referee does it for whatever reason, hear it, Drew can always hold the microphone to him.
Right.
Technically, a referee's not even needed for that match. Hey, timekeeper, ring the bell when we're both in the ring, and when you hear one of us say "I quit" into a microphone, ring the bell. But we all know the referee still has to be there in some capacity because there has to be an official there. The other way to go, where the referee would still be involved, an unsanctioned match where WWE's not held responsible. This has had that type of heat on that match too in this feud, where that would be option 4, because I think that's more lower to the end. I honestly think they should do I Quit.
We're overlooking the obvious.
What?
Guest referee.
Who's the guest referee then?
I haven't thought it that far in advance.
You know what? Nick Aldis as the referee.
I like it.
Who else, in that situation, who else better to referee the match than the general manager of the show?
Exactly. He will keep it the most fair. And
he has also gotten out in the crosshairs of both men in this match.
Right. Yeah. I will be right back.
So, but just looking at the grand scheme of everything, it just seems like I think the I Quit match would be something special. We've seen it at past years and past Royal Rumbles. Like, actually, I think the last Royal Rumble I Quit match was that KO and Roman. That would be, I think, and that's the one where they couldn't unhandcuff Roman or whatever. And the referee should have counted to 10. Archives in the chat. Guest referee would be a great FULL. LOL. And for that... Oh, why is it not letting me scroll? Well, I was going to do a laugh track, but this doesn't want to let me do it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Primal Fear button in there. Well, all right. Yes, that. Yeah, but if you're going to take the referee completely out, I Quit match is the way to go, because it's on the wrestler to end the match more than it is the referee. All they have to do is say I quit. But this feud where we thought it was over, obviously is not. Let's see, what else do we have to talk about this week? Well, we still do have our match of the week to talk about. That will be fun. Oh, hey, I can scroll again. So here's your laugh track here, Archive. And BJ has returned.
I'm better than you, and you know it.
Bye-bye, bitch.
But yeah. Here, you want me to throw another match just completely out there? Or, well, something I think I would be really cool. So, what if we combine 2 match types for this feud?
Okay.
Do the first ever Hell in a Cell I Quit match.
Yeah, or even just like Steel Cage I Quit would even work, you know?
No, if you're going to do, I think if you're going to do I Quit, you do it in the cell. Because escaping the cell looks better than, dude, you can just get out the cage and the match can still go anywhere. To where the cell's fully meant to contain.
Right.
And
But
just imagine the idea.
does.
You want to turn Cody heel and really plant that seed? Here we go. You have Cody threatening to throw Drew McIntyre off the Hell in a Cell if he doesn't quit. And then he quits and Cody does it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, that's another way to get heat, definitely.
or even vice versa. You know, like, but I don't think Cody would quit. It's always hard to sit there and look at the top one of the top baby faces in the company and be like, oh yeah, they're going to quit. You know, that's just a really hard call to make.
Yeah, I mean, there's ways, you know what I mean? Like, just like everything else with wrestling, you want to turn someone heel, there's ways. You want to turn someone face, there's ways. You want to make something believable that this person would quit, there's ways.
That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Sorry, I thought you were done talking there.
Go on.
What's funny is somebody the other day, speaking of Stone Cold real quick, and considering we're at the holidays, I was telling somebody when Dustin Rhodes was doing, he had ditched the Gold Dust gimmick kinda and was doing like a different gimmick every week, and he did the New Year's baby when he was with Luna Vachon, and Austin brings down the Crapper 316 porta potty and stuns him and throws him in it. Somebody had never seen that clip, and I showed it to him because they're huge Goldust fans. I loved the Goldust gimmick.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just going to say this on air as an idea, is maybe we should start looking back at characters and just doing like profiles on like gimmicks and characters from back in the day.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Dummy, yeah.
Yeah.
I think LA Knight agrees.
So where are we at?
This is where we're at.
Fair enough.
No, we're under 90 minutes in. We've kind of talked about everything. I didn't get to watch AAA from this week. I also have not watched Collision, which is really disappointing. I'm missing like half the Continental Classic because I haven't had time to watch Collision. But I'm definitely going to probably watch AAA after this. Wow. So Chiefs and Titans. Would you love to hear the score of that game, since I just looked at my TV and saw it up?
Go for it.
3-2 Chiefs currently.
Well, a hockey game is broken up.
And to update you as an Eagles fan, the Chargers are currently beating the Cowboys at halftime 21-17.
You know, either way, whatever.
We were at the PWU show last night, and by the time I got home, I had a dog that wanted nothing but my attention, so that's what she got, because she had to suffer sitting in her crate all day while I was gone, and I hate doing that to her, and she knows it. But yeah, anything that stuck out to you specifically this week?
Yeah, just MJF inserting himself in the triple threat. You know, that was an amazing moment seeing him return. I'm a big MJF mark, and I really popped for that. The Austin Theory reveal was about as good as they could do it, considering everybody already knew who it was.
Well, just real quick, I'm doing it on this show so I don't waste time later. Rick Blade found out I'm a Cowboys fan last night, and that's the look I got, and so I told him I would bring it up, so I also have to do this again on the next show.
You deserve it.
Oh, we need that sound clip.
Yeah. Now you just opened a whole can of worms. There's so many crowd chant sound clips we could. Okay, let's.
You just made the list.
You know, I really popped for the whole Miz segment with Nick Aldis after he was being interviewed, and the announcement of Joe Hendry, and then R-Truth's comments. R-Truth and these ball jokes.
I don't even know if that's PG.
Are freaking great. All right. Seriously, it does not get much better than that. Like, I don't ever understand whether it was part work, all work, shoot, whatever, why WWE would have ever considered letting him go.
I thought about that again today. That was definitely a work. But they were like gauging, they were kind of testing it out. They weren't 100% sure they were going to bring him back, but they were like, let's just see if we can get away with this kind of thing.
It's just one of those weird moments, you know. Like, I always understood them listening to the fans when it came to Bryan Danielson. You know. It was time. Like, he deserved to be there.
I get where they're coming from. Like, it's, you know, in ring, like, he's never going to hold a major title. You know what I mean? Like,
but at that time, we're talking about previous to the neck injuries. Yes, the Yes Mania thing, the Yes movement. Like, it was time. Like, you have to have you let Rey Mysterio hold the WWE Championship for 2 hours. All right, you just squashed Daniel Bryan like 2 years before that to Sheamus. It's just one of those things to where it's like, let the guy have his moment. Which is sad because WrestleMania 30 will never be remembered for that. You'll remember the build up to it, but not for that, because everybody will always remember WrestleMania 30 as one of the worst days in pro wrestling history in my book, and that's the end of the Undertaker streak. If it's one thing that should have stayed perfect, don't get it wrong, Undertaker, amazing characters through the years, and how he just tweaked it some. Outside of the biker, like, dead man gimmick, he always knew how to tweak it. He knew when he needed to do something new. Chris Jericho's the same way. He always knows the perfect time to tweak what needs to be tweaked to get himself the heat or the cheers. But you don't remember Undertaker specifically for great championship runs, even though he had a couple, you know. You remember Undertaker moments, and maybe it's my childhood was kind of ruined at that moment of being a wrestling fan. But seeing The Undertaker compete at WrestleMania and being like, is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? Especially after the string of matches he had with Shawn and Hunter. Like, those 5 combined matches in 5 going all back to back from 2 with Shawn, the 2 with Hunter, did the Hell in a Cell match with Shawn as the referee. Was just like, it was an amazing story told throughout all 5 of those matches, because you can't put them all together and make a full 5-year story out of that. That only happened between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. You know, like Shawn wanting to get the rematch. He had to cost The Undertaker the World Championship in the Elimination Chamber, which was beautifully done. Him coming out the chamber floor.
right.
And just super kicking Undertaker's head off. But I'll always stand on the top of the hill that the streak should have never been ended. And if it was ever actually going to end, Brock Lesnar shouldn't have been the one to do it. Because in all honesty, how much I could make an argument that it still meant something when Undertaker lost to Roman at WrestleMania. Imagine how much better it would have been if Roman had been the one to end the streak. Or if The Fiend or Bray Wyatt, whatever, was the one. Bray Wyatt specifically should have been the one.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I would prefer that to Roman.
Yeah, but we're talking about at that time, and it should have, and the streak was still going at Roman's time, a couple years later, Roman would have been a very logical choice. Especially eventually him leaving because of medical issues and the leukemia, and then coming back as the tribal chief. I'm the man that ended the streak. Brock Lesnar couldn't do it. Triple H couldn't do it. Hell, Mr. WrestleMania himself couldn't do it. Ric Flair couldn't do it. John Cena couldn't do it. I did.
Right, yeah.
Pop. There we go. You know, I kind of agree with that. But yeah, just a reminder to everybody watching, you can catch us again at 5 o'clock today, where at our normal time, we will be doing our PWU Silver and Gold review show of what was an absolutely amazing event last night. Great way to close out the year of wrestling events at the Pro Wrestling Star Academy.
Yeah, what a show. Go on. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say another match that kind of stuck out to me this week was Pac and Kyle Fletcher from Dynamite. The Elite and Callis family sticks out to me a little bit. Moxley and Roderick Strong, Continental Classic match. I forgot to bring that up for the Blue League, was really good on Dynamite this week as well.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just added something in
okay, yeah.
It's just something we need. We just need this.
Let me tell you something. See, WrestleMania 30. This is what we remember from WrestleMania 30.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly when I think of WrestleMania 30. That's exactly what I remember.
And you know, let's talk about that for a couple minutes. Like, have you ever seen the clips of the Paul Heyman thing where he does, like, I guess it's Inside the Ropes or something like that, where they do, like, the sit-down thing and they talk to the wrestlers and stuff and managers? They had Paul Heyman on one time, and somebody asked him about the WrestleMania match. And Heyman will never give a straight answer, but I love how he goes about saying, so I'm going to propose this as a theory. What if The Undertaker was supposed to win? What if Brock Lesnar went into business for himself? What was anybody going to do about it?
Right, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure that's not the case, but
God, if that is the case, if that was the case, oh my God, how, like, that would go down even more in history.
Oh yeah.
And every time I see that clip of that interview and him being asked about that, I sit there and watch it every time. Because what was Vince going to do in the back when Brock walked back there? Now, the thing is, I'll never say Brock Lesnar should have never ended the streak, but if he was going to do it, it should have been 10 years earlier.
I was fine with it.
Like I'm just saying, like, maybe 2006, 2007, around that time, where Brock's still a couple years in, or even after Brock came back.
No, because then we would have, like, not gotten the last 10 years of the streak. It wouldn't be as impactful.
No. But then what I'm saying is, but still, Brock Lesnar would have been one to end the streak when he was already, like, using the streak to establish somebody. Like, as an example, imagine if we're in a timeline where The Undertaker's still healthy and able to wrestle right now, and somebody like Braun Breaker ended The Undertaker's streak. Or Gunther ended the streak, and it has that as, like, Thanos and catching getting the Infinity Stones to put in his gauntlet. Which is just what I feel like they're doing with Gunther and him retiring everybody. AJ Styles is probably next on the list.
Right. Sooner than later, from what I hear.
Yeah, and then Brock probably at SummerSlam.
Right, that's what I'm hearing.
Because I'll stand on the hill, a Gunther Brock Lesnar match needs to happen. It'll just be interesting to see how that would go. I would love to be a fly on the wall in the locker room, hearing people talk about that match,
Right.
and just hear it being planned.
All right, so I'm going to German suplex you about 19 times, and then you German suplex me about 23 times. Then we're going to chop each other about 30 times.
Oh, no. Gunther's just going to throw chops. That's what it's going to be. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, something else from NXT this week. Ethan Page comes out kind of calling out Tony D'Angelo, but instead, Stax and Ariana Grace come out first, wanting a shot at the Mixed Tag Team Championships. And then Moose from TNA comes out and I think it's not this week, next week's NXT, the last show for NXT for the year. It will be Moose versus Ethan Page for the North American Championship.
I like it. And haven't we seen that match before? Haven't we seen Moose versus Ethan Page in TNA?
Maybe.
Like, not recently. I'm saying, like, back when Ethan Page was there before.
Yeah, it is quite possible. Yeah, let's see. Make sure I did it. Sol Ruka gets a shot at Chelsea and the women's U.S. title next week on NXT, or this week on NXT coming up.
Might be a good time to put it on her.
Would that be the call-up, then? Her winning that title? Is that title just...
I think that would make sense. But then what do you do with Zarya at that point?
You let her go on a singles run.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Let her establish herself, and then eventually you can bring that tag team back together.
Yeah. Or you could bring Zarya up and have like a kind of you left me angle.
Yeah, you could have Sol Ruka float between both shows and still be an NXT star holding a main roster championship.
True. Yeah.
That would be something interesting. Even if it would be just a short run.
Right.
Let's see. So, I guess why we're here at the moment. What is, for mainstream, match of the week?
No, I didn't see a lot. But from what I saw... I don't know. Nothing's really jumping out. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank here. Maybe something will come to me. You go ahead.
You know, mine, how much I would love to say Thea Hale and Blake Monroe, just because how invested into that moment I got, seeing her reaction to the finish and how everything played out and how genuine it really was. The NXT Fatal 4-Way #1 Contenders match.
Okay.
With Leon Slater winning that. I was generally shocked and surprised. It'll be very interesting to see how that match plays out. Especially given the ongoing story still of this battle between both brands. And that also depends. Is there a chance Moose next week walks out with the North American Championship?
That would be an interesting development.
There's a lot of ways this could play out.
I'm going to go Continental Classic matchup, Mox and Rodney. That was who it was, right?
Yeah, that was the opening match.
Yeah. I like this story they're telling with Mox right now. And this was just a nice, hard-hitting match. I like.
I guess if anybody has any questions in the chat for us related to stuff this week we may have missed or anything like that, please feel free to comment. Oh. Was you blocking the sun or did you have a question? I saw you raise your hand.
No. This time of day, the sun's shining directly in.
Yeah, that is a thing. But yes, and again, don't forget to join us in just a couple hours at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, where we will be talking about PWU Silver and Gold. And what a moment it was with this match. This is something I'm very anxious to talk about, where you will find out, if you didn't watch it online or you weren't there, who has to go home bald for the holidays. And what other things happened that were surprises and whatnot. A moment I have would be, if I was just pick a moment, is probably MJF's return.
Same, yeah, definitely.
I've been waiting for it. An interesting way that they did it to put him into that match for his return. Another match I have that also sticks out to me, honestly, Usos in the New Day. But they always just work so well together.
Oh, yeah. They got that chemistry. They've been doing it for years.
Let's see here. Do we have anything else? Don't really think we have anything else. But yeah, at 5 o'clock, we won't just be... we're also going to talk some SPO Live. Because we had stuff from that as well.
We had a new champion crowned, or the first champion crowned.
Yes, which I have to get that uploaded on here, as a matter of fact.
I got to do some uploading myself. That sounded weird.
Yeah, it did.
But yeah, I got
I don't even know if that's PG.
It definitely is. Got some files to edit and upload into StreamYard.
But there's a lot, from what I've seen of some things, because of the tapings, some spoilers that leak through to me, so I'm pretty good at avoiding them. It seems like we're going to have an interesting week of some pre-tape shows coming up.
And with the pre-tape shows, they always throw in stuff that like wasn't filmed in front of the live crowd, like a lot of backstage stuff. So you never know what could pop up, even if you have read the spoilers.
Yeah, unless it's something that like happened backstage that they showed to the crowd as well.
Right, I'm saying. But there's a lot more flexibility for them to film stuff that they don't show to the crowd.
Yeah. Because if one thing I saw is actually true, boy, it's going to be a good show next week. Which I do believe next week we will be back at our normal standard times. Even though I really have no idea what we're going to talk about next Tuesday, so it could just become a year-end show.
Yeah, year-end review kind of thing.
And boy, we would have a lot to go over there.
Oh yeah, a lot happened. A lot more happened this year than in 2024 with SPO and the whole local indie scene.
Been a good year for indie wrestling. It really has.
Absolutely.
And that doesn't even mean next Tuesday we'll keep it exclusive to indies. It could be a case where we just talk about the whole entire year in general pro wrestling.
Right.
We've had a couple retirements this year. Big retirements too, because Sting retired the beginning of the year. We had John Cena at the end of this year.
Whatever happened with that Jeff Jarrett retirement?
Who?
Double J, E, double F. Okay, I'm not going to do the whole thing.
Doesn't work for me, brother.
Thank Thank you.
Stupid idiot!
But yeah, man, it's definitely been a fun year. And just real quick, because things have been so hectic and time tight. A couple weeks ago, we did our highest ever viewed show. So I just want to finally be able to take the time to say thank you for that. Absolutely amazing. We appreciate everybody that tunes in, whether it's live or it's afterwards. We do appreciate it. We do hope you are enjoying what we do here. As we're not just here, we're also on YouTube. We are also broadcasting live on Twitch. We do have plans for a lot of stuff coming up next year. Hopefully that's some stuff we can start talking about soon. Some things we had planned have to go to the back burner temporarily to be stretched out a little bit because of this. We see what the schedule is now.
Yeah.
Just to give a heads up, we are considering doing a New Year's Eve stream. That would be a Wednesday, I believe.
Yes, Wednesday night into Thursday.
So it would probably be, if Dynamite's live on the air that night, it would probably be after that.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to start until like 10 or 11.
I mean, we could do a watch along, kill it, and then just come back. But I don't know. We have to discuss the time of length we actually want you guys seeing our ugly faces.
True.
Yes, I just buried us.
No, we're good.
But you got our match of the week. I'm looking forward to where this Austin Theory story's going. Well, I'll make sure I hit all our points this week. Definitely looking forward to where Drew and Cody is going. Because that could go so many different directions. I wouldn't mind seeing something new. Or newish. Or some twist on something like I said. Like, hell, I would even be for doing Last Man Standing inside the Hell in the Cell. Put weapons in the cell strapped up to it. Like they did with, who was that? Jeff Hardy and Seth? The screwdriver spot? Or was that Jericho? You remember the spot I'm talking about where they're in the Hell in the Cell or whatever, and with Jeff Hardy's gauged ear, and they take the screwdriver and just twist it?
That was Randy Orton, I believe.
Oh, yes, it was Orton. Yep, that sounds about right.
That's what threw me off.
Yep. I think some type of variation to an established match could be the way to go. Give the fans a reason to actually want to see it. But yeah, I guess if we have nothing left to talk about currently, we can end this. But yes, everybody, again, join us back here at 5 o'clock for our PWU Silver and Gold review show. We will also be talking SPO Live. A lot of good things happened this week. Lots of cool moments that I really can't wait to talk about. As I said, I have a video of exclusive comments from the person who won the SPO Heavyweight Championship this week and the tournament. And I will tell you, this was an absolutely amazing match. I really can't wait to talk about it. It was an amazing tournament from beginning to end. I look forward to see where things are going next for SPO. I love where they're at now. PWU just had an event that some people have called better than any of their 2,300 shows they ever did. Yes, there are people saying that it was one of the best shows under the PWU brand, and not since it returned. But we will be talking about that shortly. Everybody, for the next couple hours, be good to each other. So when we get back, we have some really good vibes. But you should always be good to each other, especially this time of year. Because a lot of people just are not fans of this time of year for whatever reason. And just being generally good to people is a good thing in the world, as I will continuously say. Needs it more than ever. But he's BJ. I'm DG. And we will catch you at 5 p.m. in just over 2 hours for our review show. Until then, sayonara. And I think, let me ring the bell here. And one more sound clip for the road.
Bye-bye, bitch.
What's good, fans? This is El Tirador, Alex Rivera, also known as the Latin Shooter, and you're watching BJ and DG Talk Wrestling. Check it out. Vaya!